Hello everyone, we are Group 10. Our topic is proposed amalgamation of BPay, Afterpost, and NPPA. There are 4 parts in our presentation. I will introduce the background and the authorization process. Then Tina will introduce the ACCC's consideration and how is the new company doing now. The proposed amalgamation between Afterpost, BPay, and NPPA has been approved by the ACCC to create a new entity, Australia Payments Plus, or AP Plus for short. The 3 companies provide various payment services to Australian businesses and consumers. An electronic bill payment service by BPay, an electronic platform for point-of-sale payments between customer and merchants by Afterpost, an open access real-time payments infrastructure by NPPA. Importantly, there's a degree of common ownership across their payment schemes. The 4 major Australian banks each possess a significant interest in their payment services provided, and will continue to do so after the amalgamation. This interest in and influence over the payment services was a key consideration in the ACCC's competition analysis. This is only the ACCC's third merger authorization determination, despite the process being available since 2017. Unlike the informal clearance process, the merger authorization process is time-bound. The ACCC must make a determination within 90 days, unless the applicant agrees to an extension. In this case, the ACCC issued its determination following a 6-month public review. The process involved the following steps. In March 2021, the applicant submitted an almost 200-page application, and the ACCC commenced its market occurrence. 2 months later, the ACCC issued its statement of preliminary reviews, stating that it was not satisfied with the amalgamation. Over the next 2 months, the ACCC sought and the applicant provided further information in relation to the proposed amalgamation. In August of the same year, the applicant offered a draft called enforceable undertaking under Section 97B of the Competition and Consumer Act. 1 month later, the ACCC issued its determination granting authorization for the proposed amalgamation and accepting the undertaking from AP Plus. Throughout the process, the ACCC took into account over 70 submissions received from interested parties, including competitors, relevant industry associations, academics, and the Reserve Bank of Australia. Now pass to Tina.
Thank you, Mia. Let's have a look at the next 2 points I want to talk about. The first is ACCC's consideration of this merger and how is the new company going now. So let's have a look at the first one. There are 2 conditions that the ACCC's that affects ACCC's make their decision. First is the merger is not likely to substantially lessen the competition, or second, if the public benefit outweigh public detriment from this acquisition. And now we will have a look at the first one. On the first condition related to the not substantially lessen the competition one, in this merger, ACCC accepted a undertaking offer that is related to the Afterpost. The offer includes obligations that AP Plus will ensure the Afterpost do everything in its control to make one of their service least cost routing available for 4 years. Why ACCC accepted this undertaking? It is because EFTPOS is the only current alternative network to the Visa and MasterCard networks through debit card transactions. I will explain this. Is when a customer makes a contactless tap-and-go payment with their debit card, not credit card, the merchants may choose to send the transaction via the debit network that costs them the least to accept the payment. So this service that provided by the EFTPOS is called least cost routing. This the service mentioned in the undertaking. If without the EFTPOS, the tap and go payment will go to the default networking, which is programmed in the card, typically the debit MasterCard or Visa networks. So that's why ACCC accepted the undertaking offer to let the merchant meet with the first condition, not substantially lessen competition, because the service that EFTPOS provided will promoting competition in the debit card market and helping to reduce payment costs in the economy. On the other hand, AP Plus, the new company, will need to submit a report to the ACCC every 6 months to demonstrate this compliance. However, as we know, this merger just approved by ACCC last year, September, so we don't have the report yet. The rest issues that being concerned on the competition, including although all of these 3 companies working on payment service, their core payment services are for different uses and are largely complementary and are not closely substitute for each other. Like Mia just said, the EFTPOS is on card payment. In the store, in every store, and BPay is on electronic payment, and NPPA is working on faster payments and infrastructure mandated by the RBA. The second one is banks have an influential role in deciding what payment service to implement, and would be reluctant to support multiple and overlapping payment services with or without this merger anyway. And the last one is ACCC admitted the merger will likely soften the competition to some extent between the 3 companies in certain areas where they were looking to expand beyond their core offering or about to bring new services to the market. However, it is unlikely to result in substantial lessening of competition because strong competitors will remain, including Visa and MasterCard. Now let's have a look at the second condition on the public interest. The ACCC pointed out the merger will enable the 3 payment schemes to coordinate investment proposals and avoid inefficient duplicative spending. Hopefully, this will increase the likelihood of the major banks and other shareholders investing in domestic payment service. If this happens, will enhance the ability of the new company, that is AP Plus, to compete with the international card schemes and the payment service offered by the international big tech. That's about the public interesting things. Now have a look at what is going on now. AP Plus was meant to go live by the end of last year after the merger, but the board has been working on setting governance and other standards for the combined entity. By the giving background that Mia mentioned before, I want to mention here is the 4 major banks are majority shareholders in these companies, and the other shareholders including ASL, Bendigo and Adelaide Bank, Coles and Woolworths, Macquarie Bank, HSBC Bank Australia, and so on. So we can see the shareholders of these 3 companies are strong entities in this industry. So in this market. So that's kind of explain why this new entity need to spend more time on setting governance and other standards for the combined entity. And the biggest news is at the end of December last year, just before the Christmas, the new company has appointed Lynn Cross as its CEO. This lady was working as a transaction strategy and execution partner at EY Oceania and have over 25 years of experience in finance and consulting, having previously worked at Westpac as well. And the interesting is this new CEO is not come from one of the three companies being consolidated. So typically, she won't be open to attract of any favorism from these three companies, and the board is chaired by Catherine Barrena, and she's the former chair of AMP. We are very looking forward to see how this new company going in the new year, and up to now is all we can get from our research. And thank you for your listening for our presentation, and that's all.